Their aunt just died a few days before, didn't she? Of all your days of suffering were about to end, weren't they? You were just about to start thinking about a new life, weren't you? Actually, technically the uncle's still there, so I mean that's still not the best of circumstances. What's wrong to be happy about someone dying, but for Satoko and her brother, her birthday had come at a crucial turning point. Their mean uncle had fled town and the siblings would be left alone. They should have been able to be happy about that. On Satoko's birthday. Satoko's probably waiting for her brother to return the whole time. Waiting for her brother to return when he never did. Waiting with bated breath for her brother to return, her hopes and dreams of a new life to come growing ever larger. But no matter how long she waited, he didn't come back. He didn't even contact her. Satoko trembling in anticipation of a great present, just that when would she have to face the cold, terrible truth? Satoshi, you fucking idiot. I could feel my blood rising to my head and my anger at Satoshi. I was frustrated. I was aggravated. I couldn't forgive him. Satoko still respected and adored her brother, and yet he was heartlessly betrayed her. Such a person wouldn't just come back. Now, when he was most needed. Yes, no one would protect her. Not even her real brother, Satoshi. So when she started to see you as her Nini, I was happy. Huh? I pray for Satoko's happiness as well, but I have a position in society and a job to do every day. I have a little time that I can devote to Satoko. But you're different. You go to school with her and you're closer to her and Satoshi's age. I knew you'd think you can only do so much. You're in a position where you can give Satoko a hand much better than I can, so I want you to help her enough for the both of us. That's what I wish for. But Coach, you could. Of course, with my job skills, there are plenty of things only I can help her with, but in the same way, there are things only you can do for her. What I want to say is, we should both perform in every way we can. Was that a little too complicated? Coach added that, and I shook my head in response. When I heard him say he had job skills, it reminded me that he was an adult in a different position from all of us. Maybe I should ask him about it. Oh, Coach, do you know a lot about laws? Well, I mean, I am a doctor, after all, so I do need to know medical laws. No, I know even less than the average person. Why? Wow, you're fucking useless. I thought back to when I argued with Mion and the others about Satoko. And, don't even fucking bring that up, you piece of fucking shit. Oh, it makes me angry. Every time he mentions it. Every time. Our children's argument had only left us with the conclusion that we had to wait and see. But what would an adult think? Wait and see. Because Mion's intelligence level is on a wait and see. She is basically an adult. She's extremely smart and intelligent. She thinks far ahead. She's not stupid like you think she apparently is. I honestly don't understand why Keiichi doesn't respect how smart she is. What was it? The child welfare law? As in an emergency measure to ensure the safety of a juvenile, they can force him or her to separate from the parents. They can do that? So then we could rescue Satoko from her uncle right away. Satoko might not want that. Unless the person being abused wants shelter. Anyway, it doesn't go that far. Satoko doesn't want it? Why? Coach didn't answer me. I didn't know why he didn't. It was clear as day that Satoko's uncle was being violent and treated her like a slave. Oh, I was reading that completely backwards. Whoop. So then why? I clamped down on my frenzied emotions and waited intently for Coach to answer. But he never did. It wasn't like he was pretending he hadn't heard me. If I had to say, it was more like he wanted to explain, but couldn't put it into the right words. Satoko probably thinks of this abuse as a trial. A trial? This isn't some weird religion we're talking about. You might You might know this, but Satoshi always looked out for Satoko. She always relied on him. Almost as though she was utterly dependent on him. I'd known for a while that Satoshi had always protected Satoko from their aunt and uncle. But that was his duty as an older brother, not something to worry about. I think that may have traumatized her. Maybe she figured that depending so heavily on her brother had made him hate her. And for Satoko, the current situation was a retelling of the story of a little over a year ago. The one where Mion actually did try to do something, but Geiichi's still fucking stupid, and still yells at her for not doing enough, even though she did everything in her power. Fucking useless piece of shit. But this time Satoshi wasn't here. So I believe that now she thinks something like this. She wants to overcome this trial by herself without relying on anyone else. And that if she doesn't grow strong, then Satoshi will never return. Now that I mentioned it, she's fucked up. Mentally, she is fucked up. Satoko had never said a word about how hard it had been before. I figured she was being threatened not to talk about it, but I talked with everyone and we were wondering if we should report it to the Child Consultation Center. I have heard that a social worker was visiting Satoko last year. Yeah. In the end, they decided to wait and see, and we thought maybe that made her get tormented even more. That was apparently Satoko reported it herself. And as a result, the abuse worsened, but was just kept out of sight. She was under even more torment, and the burden on Satoshi for protecting her rose considerably. Huh? Satoko, she wouldn't be thinking it's her own fault for reporting it, would she? Coach nodded quietly. Satoko would probably either hate it if you suggested reporting the abuse or feign courage and say you didn't need to. And even if you reported it in secret, she'd probably insist to the social worker that she wasn't being abused. Again, once a child admits that they're being abused, 9 times out of 10, they're immediately removed. It doesn't matter what the other person has to say, they're almost immediately removed. If they don't say they're being abused, and then they go to the aunt or uncle, and they say, yeah, they're fine, they're not going to be removed. It's impossible. Because there's no point. Unless they can prove the living conditions and the house is not up to snuff. Like if there's a bunch of cigarette butts on the ground, empty broken bottles of beer, alcohol, just all that shit, then yeah, they can remove the child. But if it's just a normal house, which it probably is, you can't do anything. Satoko always acts tough, and doesn't readily admit defeat, so I can imagine that easily. And there are strict limitations on this emergency measure. The Child Consultation Center would need permission from both the court and from the concerned party. If the abuse was known to the public, they could forcibly shelter her even if she denied it. For Satoko, that would probably mean losing. I don't give a fuck. This isn't about winning or losing. I don't give a fuck about her feelings. Honestly. Never have, never will. It's real life. Satoko, she's back on topic. After they placed her under their protection, she would be sent to a child care institution or the like, and she would basically be living there, so it would mean moving away. Yeah, she would be gone. Forever. You have to be ready for that. Do you want to be around her, or do you want her well-being? Knowing Keiichi, he's gonna want it both ways, which isn't possible. And with that change in residence would come a change in schools too, obviously. That changing schools has to be done. If that's what it'll take for her to be safe, Satoko understands all of those things, all the more reason for her not to want it. Yeah. Why? Because Satoko's reason for living is to wait at that house for Satoshi to return. She was a husk, an empty shell after being abandoned by her brother. How did she find a reason to live? Try looking at it from Satoko's point of view rather than your own, you fucking idiot. It's called empathy. I felt like he was trying to confuse me with that hard-to-understand roundabout way of talking, so unique to adults. It's not a roundabout way of thinking. It's logic. The point was that I couldn't do anything about Satoko wanting to stay at that house. And that I should watch. until she gives in. In the end, no matter what I said, Coach himself was saying to wait and see. Wow! It's like Mio said the exact same fucking thing! Because she's intelligent. I don't understand. What? If I feel that Satsuko is really in danger, I'll report it without asking anyone's opinion. She might not be happy with the result, and she might hate me for it, but I believe that will ultimately be what brings Satsuko happiness. Coach turned to me and gazed fixedly into my eyes. It was written all over his face. He was shocked in what such a young kid had said. Why would you go that far? Coach, no, rather normal adults might not have understood. So I taught him the creed and the values that I believed in. Satoko is my friend, and I am Satoko's Nini. Isn't that enough of a reason? No, it's not. I stared at him with a will strong and unbreakable as steel, and his eyes betrayed a tiny bit of unrest. No, of course that's enough. We went silent for a while until finally Coach said only that. Didn't we make a promise? I'm sorry, what? That we weren't going to let Satoko cry. We made a vow on that day on the barbecue party. I didn't think about it hard at all, but Coach and I still made a promise. That we wouldn't ever let Satoko cry. Why can't he ever fucking make that promise with Mio? I don't want to make her cry, because that would make me a hell of a lot happier. I mean, I would be enjoying this game a hell of a lot more if he never made her cry again. Or went out of his way to make her happy. Because that's good. That's good, Keiichi. That's what you're supposed to do. But no, Keiichi's stupid. And be like, nah, I'll promise this child that I won't make her cry. Children cry at the drop of a hat. Coach gave a dry grin of regret, immediately apologizing for not remembering. One way or another, when he grinned like that, it made me think Wow. It made me think that his enthusiasm for saving Satoko was a tiny bit smaller than mine. He lightly hit the brakes, making a skidding noise, and leaned forward. Good old autocorrect there. A skidding nose. Oh god. Could that be your house there? Oh, right, Mahabara would live at the Mahabara residence, wouldn't he? Before I knew it, we were almost at my house. Can Mion be in front of it? I mean, of course not, because that would be too nice. That would be too good. Because I can't have nice things. Because Keiichi's a dumbass. Oh, case 31. The fuck? Oh, that's probably Child Services actually going to the house. And their dossier on it. December 1st, 1981. Prefecture Juvenile Welfare Division report. Do not view, do not duplicate. Good, it's an auto scroll. Case 31, November 20th. Satoko Hojo. Let's go, 9 years old. Resident Hinamizawa Shishibone. 8 or 9. God, she is too young. Fuck, Keiichi. Come on. Consultation circumstances. Anonymous telephone. SOS of child abuse. Number 2, abuse situation. Anonymous claims that a female child is suffering physical abuse by adoptive parents, her guardians. 3, family structure. White circle marks of abusers. Adoptive father, adoptive mother, older brother, child in question. Note in June 1980, the child's parent died in an accident, and she was given to her uncle on her father's side, her father's younger brother. 4. Child Consultation Center response. On the day of the anonymous telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked for her situation. The next day, the welfare officer on duty visited the child's home and heard what they had to say. Both adoptive parents agreed to the center's coaching, contacted anti-abuse network in the city as part of this suggested coaching. A district welfare officer in the area began visiting for coaching at fixed intervals. The scrawled note below is stapled to the report. Related information from former officer Mr. W. Referred to 1977, document D23, number 44. As Chief Investigator F from the city's Educational and Consultation Center offices, he is well informed about it. About what? Please. No. What? No! You better not fucking leave that cliffhanger of a fucking tip. Hello? I want to know what that is. What the hell? Let's go ahead and save. Over the god... I have an ungodly amount of saves. I don't know why they give it as many as these, but sure, what the fuck ever. I'll use a lot of them. I went home and washed the day's sweat off in the shower. Normally, I could reset everything by taking a shower and forgetting all the bad things. God, nothing's better than a fucking hot shower. After a shitty fucking day. Or after turning an assignment that was due at 11:30 p.m. instead of 11:59 like any normal fucking assignment, and being 2 minutes late, and the policy for the fucking class is a goddamn any late's a 0. So fuck me right in the ass. For 20% of my goddamn grade and I'm fucked. God damn it. Best I'm gonna get is an 80. What I'm going to get is a fucking, like, 72. Fuck me. Oh, I'm pissed. Oh yeah, sorry about that. just a little livid about that. Just a little. 2 minutes fucking late. 11:32 I submitted it. Fuck off. Oh, I'm pissed. Whoa, that... Oh god, if I was anywhere else that I wasn't paying for a room, my fist actually probably up to my elbow would be through the fucking wall. Just right next to me, just straight fucking through it. Oh god. I was pissed. Really fucking pissed. But that didn't happen today. I got out of the shower to find fresh underwear placed neatly in the laundry basket. Oh god, that's the fucking dream. I wish I still had that. Oh, fuck. Being an adult sucks. When you have to do your own fucking laundry. God, that... Oh, they have free... Here's your clothes already washed for you. Fucking me, I want that back so bad. If anyone has their laundry done for them, fucking thank them every fucking day. Every day for fresh clothes. It is so tedious to wash clothes. It's terrible. Terrible. Normally I didn't stop to think about it, but today I felt happy at my mother's consideration. At the same time, however, it made me realize how much Satoko must be suffering. Of course. Everything goes back. There's a drop of water. It makes me think about how Satoko's suffering every fucking time. At the very moment I was appreciating this gentle kindness, Satoko might be being bruised by her uncle's cruel words. You could say that about any time in the world. I could say, oh, God, that me turning in this late assignment is terrible. But when I think about all the people being abused, that's even worse. I mean, you could do that about everything. Come on, man. You can't get absorbed by all that. He's getting a little too obsessed over it, though. I went up to the second floor and shut myself in my bedroom. Then, facing my desk, I folded my arms. Why is everyone thinking about this rationally? I'm thinking about it emotionally, so I am clearly right. My topic of thought, of course, was Satoko. We thought that if we could just get a public agency to intervene in the right way, the problem would be solved. But with what Coach said, I didn't think it would be so easy. Satoko was obstinate, in that she would stubbornly deny the abuse and try to endure it. And that was an act of atonement towards Satoshi, who had protected her before and then run away. As long as she thought of it that way, the situation wouldn't be so simple. But earlier, before Coach, I made a clear declaration. If I thought Satoko was in danger, then I would do what I had to. In the end, what it meant, I was just going to wait and see, too. Nevertheless, I thought I'd draw a clearer line than Coach or my friends had. Fuck you. If the time came, I would report it. Over the phone. Given Satoko's personality, she might criticize me if she found out. But I believed it was ultimately the best decision. That's if they actually see through the falling down a flight of stairs, because they can't forcibly just remove her because she has bruises on her body. I mean, that's just, they can't do that. I mean, they'll obviously be able to tell, but they can't just make that assumption, that leap of faith. Wait, Geichi Maebara, would that really be all it took for the problem to end? Say that I reported to a public agency like the Child Consultation Center. What if they stuck on to their wait-and-see attitude like last year again? Last year they decided to do just that, and the situation improved temporarily, but then the aunt, thinking herself a laughingstock, increased her tormenting in secret. In the end, things became more underhanded than ever before. This hero is her uncle. You think he gives a flying fuck if it's noticeable or not? No. I had just seen him for the first time today, but the man seemed much more direct, much more violent than the word underhanded could imply. He wasn't like their aunt. No, not that subtle. He was more direct. He might also assault her with punches and kicks. That could easily be discerned from the bruises in which I saw in Satoko's body. Shit, you're too naive, Geichi Maebara. However heroic it may seem to report that as it was happening, if it doesn't save her, then it doesn't mean anything. Reporting things to a public agency was only one option, and leaving everything to them would be dangerous. We would need something more to guarantee Satoko's safety. I scratched madly at my head, thinking, then tilted it back, wanting at least a little bit of calm. The memories of angry arguing with my friends today came to mind. You better feel fucking bad. I was embarrassed that I hadn't realized it until Rena said something. She was right. My house is huge. Compared to all the houses with the straw thatched roofs in Hinamizawa, it was really big. We did actually have empty rooms. I never thought that we were affluent, but also never thought we were poor. I just didn't admit it because people would think I was arrogant. But maybe my family really is wealthy. We had a few rooms we could lend to Satoko. The guest rooms were only in use when people related to my dad's job come and stay every once in a while. Plus, if we cleaned up a few of the rooms my dad uses as storage, they could work for her as well. And yet you fucking yelled at Mion for no goddamn reason. Because you were being an emotional little bitch. And you... God, that pisses me off. You can never assume anything about anyone. I don't give a fuck of how much someone brags or doesn't brag. You can't just fucking assume they can take in a person. That is a huge responsibility. As for food expenses, that might have been a more serious problem than a kid like me could imagine. Yeah. Lunch every day would be manageable. What about breakfast? Dinner? All of our friends would just bring a little bit more for lunch than when they usually did. With everyone packing at everyone else's food anyway, it would be manageable. For breakfast and dinner, though, that would have to be up to Mom. I would need to convince her to lend Satoko more than just a room. Of course, I don't even think convincing her of that would be easy. About how much did it cost for one person to eat? Oh my god! If you want 3 square meals a day, a fuck ton of money. A day. I'm on a college budget, so I buy food like once a week. That's the difference. I don't eat a lot of food. But I'm not a child that needs a lot of food to grow. That's a lot of money. You're easily dropping 200 for 2. Probably about 150, honestly. When you sit down and break the cost of probably about 150. This time money, probably 100. But probably 150. If you want a healthy person. How many tens of thousands of yen per month? They couldn't complain about it if I shouldered that, could they? You don't have that much money. I only had 10 or 20,000 yen in savings, but it was something. That's a month. That's it. Maybe. I actually had even more thanks to New Year's gifts and such, but my parents had taken all that and put it into a fixed time deposit. If I could get access to that, it should add up to a lot of money. If I got that far, Mion and Reno would need to share some of the burden. No, they don't. Fuck you, they don't. They're not obligated to. You can't just assume. That's a terrible thing to do. Of course that didn't seem like it would work. Rena got mad at me, didn't she? About how I shouldn't just shove responsibility onto others. You're not their fucking parent. I'd have to ask for help. Even so, I'd basically be saving her myself. Fuck off. God, you're such an undeniably asshole. God, he's being such a fucking prick. Because he's taking sole responsibility. I am saving her. I am her savior. I'm her knight. No, you're not. You're a person. Thinking you're gonna do all these grand things. You're not. You're not doing any of them. I'd follow through on it. Oh, but it wouldn't be only food expenses. There's a lot of other things that you couldn't do without, like baths and laundry. My mother was awfully methodical and strict about cutting out inefficiencies, and for once that was troublesome. She might even make reference to the money it would cost for the detergent Satoko would use for her own clothes. I couldn't think only about food expenses. Yeah. Technically, you'd have to be spending more on electricity, because it's another person. More lights in the house are going to be on more times. That's just how it is. You're going to pay for more water usage. It's a lot of money. When you really start living on your own, you realize how much money you actually spend and how fast it goes. I needed more money. Hey, wait, Keiichi Maibara, since when was all this about money? That's the main point. Even if you could afford it, you would need your parents' permission first. They'd be looking after a young girl for a really long time. What would I say to persuade them? Just calm down a little bit, Keiichi Maibara, and you'll realize right away that you can. Even if you ask them seriously, they would tell you to call the police. Even if you manage to gain their empathy, why should the Maibara family have to shoulder all the burden by themselves? That's what would happen. That was it. Because that's logic. No, you're not responsible for another human being. You never are. It's not your place to act like you are. Sorry about that. It was very sad and frustrating, but no matter how much I wanted to help, my resolution alone couldn't save anything. Our kids are really this powerless? I felt frustrated. I believe my feelings were stronger than anyone else's. I even thought they were stronger than Coach's. And yet, feelings only get you so far. At that point, there were 2 knocks on my door, and Mom poked her head inside. Were you awake? I've been calling you for dinner for a while. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. As someone financially dependent on his parents, I shouldn't say this, but I just sat around doing nothing and food suddenly appeared. It felt so natural to me that I'd shamelessly thought of it as the responsibility of parents who gave birth to me. But when I realized that a natural thing was actually a privilege, I came to realize just how hard it was to grant that privilege to others. Even the boring meal in front of me, no better than it ever was, had more meaning than that tonight. Yeah. But cooking's fun. I mean, I enjoy cooking. I don't like cleaning up after my cooking, but I like cooking. But it's always amazing when someone cooks for you. It really is. It always is. I love it so much when someone cooks for me. No, the next time that happens won't be for a fucking while. So, I don't care. I like cooking myself. Because I like being dependent as well. I don't like having to be reliant on other people. Sorry, independent. I don't like being dependent. I like being independent. I don't like having to rely on others. Only reason I hate college is all the fucking work I have to do. Other than that, this college life, I could do this for years. Which is basically living. Like, if I replaced this with a job, fuck, I would be set for life. So, I don't know. I'll probably finish college. If not, it wasn't for me, I guess. I'll be the fucking next Bill Gates. That would be a fucking joke. But anyways, it's getting pretty late here. I'm gonna end it off. I've been going for a decent while. Tomorrow, more videos will be up. I have so far stuck to my schedule of one video a day at least. Even in my busiest college time. Thank God. Again, like I said, this upcoming winter, it's going to be fucking brutal of getting videos up. I don't even know what I'll do. Hopefully it'll give me a good time to really record in advance, because usually, fuck, if I go, I could probably record like 5, 6, 7 videos a day if I really push myself. So I mean, I'd have close to a fucking 100 videos saved up, but I wouldn't be able to upload a lot because the internet just sucks at my house. It just does. That's the terrible truth. Getting spoiled by college internet. I can't wait until Google Fiber. They'll make my life 10 billion times better. But I've been rambling on enough. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. It really means a lot. Especially when you leave a like, a comment. It really does show that you enjoy my content that I'm putting out. I know you guys do. It just gets you in that feeling of like, oh, you know, someone didn't like it, so it just, I don't know. It's kind of, fuck, I don't even know how to fucking describe it. If you ever put something out on social media, you get that feeling of, oh, you know, so one person didn't like it. Why didn't they like it? Did they actually hate the content? Did they just click away and leave? You just get that feeling. I know it's irrational, of course, because watch time is up. I can see how long someone's watched my video, of course. I don't know, it just gives you that internal feeling. And I really need to stop looking at all the statistics and stuff. Just because I spend hours and hours looking at that shit. When I could be recording. Which I should be recording. Fuck me. Anyways, I'm going to go to sleep now. I'll fucking pass out in literally 10 minutes. After that, I'll wake up and actually cook myself some lunch. And then eat. Watch some football. And then... oh yeah, P.S. It's Friday. Well, no, actually, no. Technically Saturday that I'm recording this. This will be going up on Sunday. And, so yeah, I would be watching football on that day. Or at least I would have already watched football. Anyways, rambling. So I'll be recording more. Is basically what I'm getting at. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned for more. And remember to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you really subscribe. I want to see those numbers growing. Share this video around. Post it anywhere you see. Anywhere that can... I don't know. Anywhere, really. I don't fucking care where. Post it anywhere you want. Anywhere. Fucking put it on Pornhub. I don't give a shit. Anywhere's fine. Just make sure you leave the... actually, if you post it there, it will be a link to my channel anyways. Anyway, so that doesn't matter. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. And see you next time.